Suriname Experience.
Yeah, are we on air? Good morning, everybody. All over the Caribbean, I'm very proud to be standing here this morning and granting the opportunity to share a part of my experience with you. I hope in the coming 30 minutes, when I share my life story, I will be able to inspire all of you to create the story of your own. As the moderator already introduced me, my name is Odette Miranda. I'm becoming 50 years this year, so it's going to be an interesting turn of events because as I experienced in my own life, the highlights of the ages, the 20, the 30, the 40, the 50, and even the ones in between, the 25, the 35, the 45, are always interesting moments when you take a look at your life. So I must admit, I'm also in that stage as we speak right now, because in 6 weeks it's going to be my big 5-0. So I hope that I can share some of it with you, and I hope to have at least one person inspired by it to take this information and head up your own journey. So I wanted to talk about life's a pitch. That's what my subject is for today. Sometimes I may be struggling with the English words, so I'll be just transferring to the Dutch, and then you can learn a couple of Dutch words yourself. Won't that be great? By the end of this conference, you would have at least a couple of words in Dutch, so you can also get a feel of what our language is like, because that's the uniqueness of the Caribbean, of course, our diversity and still the strength that we can create or generate by portraying that. So let's get over to the story. The assignment which we're working on for the next hour is I want you to write a pitch for your life in 60 words. So just keep in mind during the presentation that this will be the eventual goal that we're striving for. Write your life pitch in 60 words. Apply the SMART strategy. Of course, you all know the SMART strategy already. Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and relevant, and timely. So those are the aspects that you should look for when you're formulating your own life pitch. And we'll take a 10-minute time frame for this exercise. By the end of this session, you will have written your life pitch. And it's not a pitch which you will continue to be able to use for the rest of your life. It's more of a point of having some kind of framework and adapting that framework as you grow in time or in the process of your life. Next slide, please. Okay, so on screen, you have now, if everything is correct, the components of my life pitch. 3 aspects in my life at this point in time, which guides my life pitch. I am the owner, as the moderator said, and founder of Shetskis. Just a little small recap on what Shetskis is. Shetskis is an advertising company and a production company, and we specialize in audio, video, and graphic design content for media. We also create events, and when we set up events, we are creating memorable moments for people. And that's what it's all about, the memorable moments which people will continue to take with them throughout the years. And also a very large part of Shetskis and the philosophy of the way that I manage the company is support. I believe that I'm here to support everybody who works in my office. And I believe that they are here to support me, because without them, there would be nothing. There is impossible that I would have built what I have today alone. So the people working in the office, those are actually the main factor of what comprises Shetskis and what made us grow. So let me just give you a small introduction. I was about 25 years when I started Shetskis. I was alone, single mom of 2, and I started out working at a radio station. And that's where actually it was just a time-filling job at that point in time. But later on, I'm going to tell you why that works out, or why it worked out. So that's where I started. And from there, I started the company Shetskis. I was alone, one person. From there, I grew. I needed this, so I asked somebody to come and help me, and they joined the team. I needed that. The company was growing. We needed more expertise in a certain area, and people joined the team. So after that, Shetsky's growing from a one-person company to at our maximum around 25 people working in this office, a lot of things happened, a lot of ups and also some definite downs. But it's a process. And that's why on screen you now, and because that's one of my main life themes I live by, trust the process, trust the time of your life. At a certain point in time, Shetsky's grew. We started out some other entrepreneurship adventures, but they collapsed, faded. We lost money, but we got up, we continued, and the company grew. At a certain point in time, remember I told you about those life moments? I was about 45 years old in life when I said, listen, there's a recession in Suriname. It was 2016. And I said, listen, this cannot be it. There has to be more than just working and doing this. Of course, you love your job, but there has to be more. That's when the idea of our corporate social responsibility project, Bromchi Futamara, started. Bromchi Futamara is a Surinamese word, and it means flowers of tomorrow. What does Bromchi Futamara do? We want to contribute to the development of youth because we're living in Suriname. People are calling our youth dropouts. They're calling our youth getting pregnant too soon. They're getting our children hanging on the corners of the street. And I didn't want that. I have 3 kids of my own, and I didn't want that being called to the kids of the country where I live. So I dedicated the foundation, but not only myself. I said, listen, this is going to be a Shetsky's effort. It's going to be a team effort. Everybody has to pitch in. So everybody has to give their time to figure out how we are going to help the children. So that's why we started the Bromchi Futamara Foundation. We used our network because that was the strength of Shetsky's. We had customers. We had a lot of people that we talked to. Everybody knew us in the community. So the stepping stone to speaking to them and getting them on board for Bromchi Futamara was very easy. So we started networking and telling them, okay, listen, we're on a mission here. We want to contribute to the development of youth in Suriname. We want to create memorable moments for them. We want to teach them, and we want to scout and develop talent. And this is very interesting because I wanted to share this short story with you. When I was in Shetsky's and producing a television show please go back to thank you, this slide, just 1 second more. Okay, when I was doing a television show under the name of Shetsky's, it was a program which was called the Bubble Box. It was just a concept that we looked up, and we invited kids into the studio and have a chat with them. It was just a platform for them to speak and say, okay, well, I'll do this and I like this, and this is my friend, and this is what my mom says. It's just a chat box for kids. And it was a show that was aired for 2 years, half an hour in the studio with kids. The remarkability of this story is that Shetsky's provided the platform for us to do that show. Now I'm like at least 15 years to 20 years later, and I meet these now young adults, and they come up to me and they say, do you remember me? I was in the Bubble Box. And you don't remember me? I was talking about this. And I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, child. It was 2 years of children in the studio every week. I don't remember you, but you know what I remember? I remember the fact that I made an impact on your life in just half an hour. And that is like the most mind-blowing experience that I have. Even now, getting goosebumps. And you know what the beautiful thing about it is? Even one of those Bubble Box kids is on the team of organizing this conference. I mean, if that doesn't make you proud, I mean, I'm still getting goosebumps. So that's the most beautiful part of my work. My work gave me the opportunity to reach out to children and give them something that inspired them to remember me after 20 years even. And that's what inspired Bromchi Futamara. Bromchi Futamara is now inviting kids into kids clubs all over Paramaribo and trying to stimulate them in just a session or 2 every week. So this is a beautiful circle on how things are going. After that, Bromchi Futamara, we said, okay, listen, recession is all around us the last 5 years. So in 2016, we started up the idea of Bromchi Futamara. And after that, we said, okay, listen, media, video, that's our thing. That's what we want to work at. So why not try to go, because the Shetsky's assignments are going down. let's try to get some new adventure into the building. That's when we started out for Supreme TV get-go. Supreme TV is a local television station where we produce most of our content ourselves, but we also want to be a platform for young producers in Suriname to get their story out. As a production company, we had to work with the media a lot, but the media was always out for money. No, you got to pay airtime. You got to pay me for this. You got to pay me for that. And I was like, listen, if this is going to happen, we're going to not stop stealing content from everywhere around the world and airing that and giving that to our youth. Has to be different. We have to create our own stories and tell the positive things of our life to present to the people in Suriname for them to believe in themselves, to believe in their power, to believe in the power of the positive stories that are also here in Suriname, and not only talk about politics and whatever is going on and economics and whatever. There are beautiful stories there of people, strong people, beautiful people, things happening in Suriname, and with Supreme TV, we wanted to portray that. So this is just the sheet of my life, actually, where I say, okay, these three organizations, Shetsky's, where I went into media, production, started out Bromchi in trying to develop the youth through the same program, and then, of course, guided into Supreme. This is actually the circle of my life. One important thing is trust the time of your life. Everything happens for a reason, and there is a higher power who guides you. You will get what's coming to you if you work hard, be positive, and trust that there is a path for you, because I did. That's why it says this, trust the time of your life, because you are at the right time in the right place where you should be. Trust the process. Next slide, please. Okay, so in my work with the different companies that I've just explained to you, three pillars are very important. It is marketing, creativity. It's going a little wrong there with the G of the marketing, but that's no problem. Marketing, creativity, and talent, because these three pillars are like the red thread through my life. These three pillars shaped me into the person that I am. And more importantly, they gave me the power to contribute, because that is what I want to do eventually. These three pillars worked out in a strategy. If you go on to the next, you will see the strategy. It's like a tree. You have the marketing branch, you have the creativity branch, you have the talent branch, and when you put it all together, it comes into the strategy. Next slide, please. Okay, so what's the strategy? The strategy is the assignment we're going to work on today, and that's the life pitch. It's supposed to be coming on. Okay, please disregard the fonts. Oh, okay, it's good. Okay, on my screen, the fonts are different than what you're seeing, so I think that the words are being cut out, but I gather that everything is technically fine. So as I said, the strategy is your life pitch. So let's continue. Next slide, please. So my life quotes. I just want to stop and tell you a small story about myself and why these two quotes are my life quotes. When I was 25 years old and people would ask me, what is your purpose in life? I would have no clue. I would just probably say, work, and I have some kids. That was it. My life purpose came along when I was growing and working. Trust the time of your life and trust the process. That's what I did at a certain point in time. I said, okay, listen, I was even 35, I was even 40, and even 42, 43, and not even realizing, okay, so where am I headed? What am I doing? So it doesn't have to be that you have to have a life purpose at 25, but it's always good to think about it in advance, because you gain years, because you keep focus. Next slide, please. Okay, there's one very important life quote that I really live by, and every chance I get, I try to share this with everybody, because it keeps me sane in a hectic day. It keeps me sane in turbulent times, even economically, even in the family, even in during disturbing times when it's difficult in the country or even in the building. And the life quote says, "Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Please, please read this and take it in. I'm going to repeat it because I think it's very important. The serenity to accept the things you cannot change. Because if you can't change it, why bother with it? If you can, you need courage to change it. If you can, change it. But you need courage. And courage for me comes from the higher power. And the main thing is the wisdom to know the difference. There's a wisdom to know what you can change and which you cannot change. So take a moment, step back, look at situations in your life. Can you change it? No. Please accept it. Can you change it? Yes. Find the courage somewhere to do, just to keep yourself in balance. Next slide, please. Okay, so we're going to talk about the life pitch. What is a life pitch? A life pitch is a pitch that is a description of your purpose in life. You can think about questions as, who are you? Who are you? Who do you want to be? Where are you going in life? Where are you heading? What's your purpose? What is your destination? What is the road? Because it's not always destination, it's also the journey. So what journey do you want to take? I think that I took the long way ahead, but it doesn't matter because that was my path and I enjoyed every moment of it. Why are you heading there? And what do you want to contribute in life? Those are the four W's to take into consideration when you put up your life pitch. It's a description of your purpose. Who are you? Where are you going in life? Why are you heading there? And what do you want to contribute in life? Next slide, please. Why do you need a life pitch? It's good to capture goals at that point in time. It gives you focus in life because every time you look at it, you can ask yourself, okay, am I in the right place? Is this what I wanted for me? Am I here? What do I need to change? Where do I need to head? What do I need to adapt? Focus in life, as I explained before, you can also use a life pitch when applying for a job. Because if you thought about who you are, how easy is it to convince other people what you have to bring to the table? Also, when you're setting up your business, or even when you meet friends, it's always good and neat and clean to have a life pitch so that you can talk about what you want, what you believe in, what your goal is, and where you're headed. So I want to do a little exercise. I think it's now time for the first question, just to see where you guys are at right now. I don't know how many people signed in to the conference, but we're going to do a Mentimeter test. Yeah. The first question is, do you know what you want to achieve in life? It's a multiple choice on the top. Go to menti.com and use the code 42696289. The code, I'm going to repeat it, 42696289. Is that good? The code also in the chat, and please respond. Do you know what you want to achieve in life? I gather that the average age of people joining this conference is between 20 and 30 years old. Am I right? So let me see if you were in a better place than where I was when I was 25. So you have your limited time, so take time into consideration to answer the question. Couple of seconds still. Waar is de tijd meten? Oh, is niet voor Okay, so your answers are in. 17 people say that, yeah, they have planned out every detail. That is really, really good news, because that means 17 of you are headed into the focus direction of you know where you want to be. Let me go back to the results, because the largest part of the answers said that you have a direction, but no details yet. 20 people sort of have an idea, and 4 people have no clue. And I must say, I'm very surprised at this answer, because I'm just relating it to myself. When I was about your age, I had no clue. I was just working. I was working and I was a mom, and that was it. I didn't think about what was happening. I didn't think about how my life would be like in 5 years. But I'm really surprised at this answer, and that means good job. Thumbs up to you, because really a lot of you are heading in the right direction. We need to assist those 4 people, and I hope that this session can do that. Just to give you a clue, because it's a process and you have to trust the process. Okay, I think there is another Mentimeter question upcoming. Yeah, okay. Do you think that you need a live pitch? And please answer this correctly. Otherwise, I'm be standing talking here to myself for the last half hour. That wouldn't be a good deal. So let's just take a look at this question here. Do you think you need a live pitch? Yes, no, or maybe? And you can be honest, because I don't know who you are. So, doesn't matter. You can just say, listen, woman, stop blabbing, because it's fine. So we're up to 52 people who say that they do think that they need a live pitch. 54 already. 16 people say, well, maybe. I hope we can convince you. And 2 say, no, it's a waste of my time. And you know what? I understand. And you know what? It's no problem. We just hope that by the end of this session, we've inspired you just to think about it. I mean, you don't have to do it. You could just think about it, and that will be enough, because that is where you are in the process. Okay, so let's take a look at the answers that we have now. 59 people, yes, they do think that they need a live pitch. 20 are maybe, and 2 say, no, it's a waste of my time. Thank you very much. And I'm still very enthusiastic about the 59 people do think that they have a live pitch needed for them, and 20 are definitely on the right path to thinking one step further in that process. Okay, thank you for your answers. Makes me feel good. Okay, let's go to the next slide. See where we at. So, as I told you, 3 pillars in my life decided my purpose in life and my life pitch: the marketing, the creativity, and the talent. What marketing tools do you use to find out what your life pitch is like? There are some marketing tools, and I listed them: unique selling point, added value, and communication. Those are the 3 marketing tools which you can use SWOT analysis, which you can use to look at what your purpose in life is, what your life pitch is. Of course, unique selling points, I don't need to explain that to you. You have to find out what is your unique selling point. Everybody has unique selling points. You are like a product, because when you're alone in your room, you're the product. As soon as you step out of your room, you are a part of the community, even if it's a small community in your house, or it's a larger community where you work, where you go to school, where you go to sports, where you go to the club, or anything else that you do. You are part of a community. That means you're a product. When you are a product, people will look at you and they will decide for themselves what they think who you are. And that's why it's so important to have the life pitch, so that you know who you are, and that's what you can portray. But first, before you can tell them who you are, you need to know your unique selling points. You need to know your added value. You need to know the way that you communicate. And it's always nice, just in the back of your mind, to have a SWOT analysis of yourself, so that you can check it off. Okay, these are my strengths. These are my weaknesses. These are my opportunities, and these are my threats, because they are going to be the stepping stones on how to improve yourself, your life pitch, on where you're headed for your life. So these are the marketing tools that I picked out. These work for me. I use them in my work as a communication tool between creating a product, the client, and the end product that we have to make. We look for unique selling points, and for every advertisement, we look for the added value, we communicate, but we also take the SWOT analysis into consideration, not to disrupt our clients or not to disrupt the message that they're trying to put out there. So take these marketing tools into consideration when you're going to write up your life pitch in a couple of minutes. Let's go to the next slide, please. Creativity. Creativity is a large part of my life. So when I was in the beginning of my career, I started to be the creative brain of for myself, for my own productions, because as I told you, I worked alone. But along the way, I came across a lot more people who were a lot more creative than me. And you know what the best part of it is? You can take a step back, focus on other things, and then other parts of creativity came into my book, which I had to look at. How am I going to put my creativity into managing those people who are more creative than I am? The creativity then comes in problem solving, multitasking, being flexible, inventiveness. Flexible is double. So these are the four the four types of creativity I have to. These are the four tasks I have to put creativity in. So it's not really the creativity as creativity itself. That was in the beginning of my career, but it changes. It changes through the process, and it changes through time. That's why the life code is trust the process and give it time to process in your life, because it changes and you have to be adaptable to it. So now my creativity comes in problem solving, multitasking, inventiveness, and flexibility. So find your creativity, because sometimes it can start out somewhere and it can grow and develop into something else. Next slide, please. Talent. This one is a tricky one, because how do you find out what your talent is? So I put some questions up for you to think about. How do you find your talent? First of all, what makes you feel strong? When do you feel confident in doing what? Is it a sport? Is it singing? Is it writing? Is it speaking? Is it, maybe philosophizing, filosofera. I don't say it in English? Okay, Rolinzo will help me. Filosofera. It's thinking of philosophies. That's stated like that. Okay, what makes you feel strong? You can almost always put your finger on it, what makes you feel strong, that has something to do with your talent. So keep that in mind. What makes you feel strong? When do you feel strong? Ask family and friends, because if you're stepping outside of you and you can look at yourself objectively, then you probably see different things, but you don't do that. Your family does that. Your friends do that. They are not you. They're outside from you, and they're looking at you and telling you, hey, listen, this is nice. This is good. Have you ever thought about doing this? Most of the time, it's our own insecurities which make us doubt if that is really something that we're good at. So ask them and listen to them, or write it down what they're telling you so that you can find your talent. One other thing, look for talent in others. When you are a good singer and you look at somebody who is a good singer, in your opinion, the singing part of that person will probably draw more attention from you to that trait that they have. So if you see something in somebody, or if you look at somebody, look at them and see what talent in them you like, because it's going to resonate. The talent that resonates is probably the one that you should be looking at for yourself, for your own development. One other question to ask yourself: what have you been complimented for? Think about it. When you do something, either if it's your job or in your house, if it's organizing a party for your little sister, anything, what have you been complimented for? if you have the answers, or if you write down the answers to these couple of questions, take a look at it and you probably will see some similarities. And that's just the small starting point of finding out what your talent is, if you don't know already. Because if you know, of course, then you go ahead and you explore that. And the last thing, take classes in subject that interests you. If you look at a schedule from anything that is from school, and even the elementary school, if you look at the list of the subjects that they have, you probably pick on one. I can definitely tell you that is probably your talent. My talent when I was in elementary school was I liked doing zeg je rekenen? Not math, but rekenen. Calculation. Okay, calculations. I love numbers. Even then, my highest score was always numbers. It wasn't math, it wasn't biology or anything else. It was numbers. And I don't know why, because I'm not an accountant type of person. But even still, if you tell me a phone number now, I will remember it in 10 years. If you tell me I remember number plates, license plates from cars to recognize cars. I don't know why, but that is what I like. I remember small amounts of people paying me back something or paying something in the store. Small things and numbers where everywhere around me, it lights up. See, that's my talent. I have to do something with numbers. And I'm not in accounting, but if I work in my office, then I see that my talent is picking up on those highlight. Numbers are always there. Amount of people, even numbers when you have to check the books, everything that's going on with numbers. Okay, so if you look at a list of, how would you say that? Hoe zeg je dat? Cursussen, training, cursussen. If you would want to go back to school or do a training or something, look at the list and look at the subject that interests you. That will probably tell you a little more about your talent. So if you gather up all of these questions and you write it down and you look at it, you'll probably figure out what your talent is. Reflect and evaluate periodically to see if you are developing your talent. So there is one thing that I didn't write it down on a PowerPoint, but I'm going to write it down for you to see to show you that it's sometimes a pretty tricky thing, talent, because I have a couple of talents. My first talent is presenting. I hope that you can read this and my handwriting is not too bad. I am good at sales. I'm a presenter. I get presenting jobs. It makes me feel strong. My family and friends tell me I'm good at it. I look for that talent in other people. I have been complimented for it. I took some classes to find out how I can be a better presenter. But in Suriname, I'm very sorry to say, I wouldn't be able to make a living in presenting. That's an economy of scale, just a couple of presenting jobs that are available. It would not be able to pay the bills. So even though it's my talent, I can only go that far with it. I have a talent for sales. Yeah, I can sell you anything. Believe you me, I can sell you anything if I would like, but I hate it. So this doesn't give me any money, and this I absolutely hate. I hate sales. I really do. Don't let too many other... What's that here? Black. Oh, black. I'm supposed to use black. I hate sales. I don't like sales. Don't tell this to my customers. They're not in the conference, thank God, but I really hate it. So at a certain point in time, I said, listen, this is my talent, but I really hate it. Presenting doesn't give me any money. So what do I look for? What is my talent, which I can turn around and really like, because this one is not going to do it. This one is not going to do it either. So then you look... Write with black. Yes. Okay. Now I'm going to write with red. Okay. So what do you look for after that? You look for your passion. Because from your talents come your passion. And this is really important because what's my passion? My passion, if you look at the slide where I explained to you all of the organizations that I'm in, that we put up together with a lot of people around me, there's three structures, Shetskis, Bromchi Futamara, and Supreme. It's entrepreneurship. That's my passion. I love running around. I love working with people. I love running from one desk to the other, problem solving, being flexible, telling them new ideas, thinking up new ideas, and then giving it to them to just further develop it. So from your talents come your passion. And this is where you are going to make a difference in your life. But you have to trust the process and give it the time and believe that you are in the right place where you're supposed to be in life. Okay, so let's go to the next slide because I think we're heading towards the end. Now we're going to recap the assignment. I hope I gave you some information to gather your thoughts for the assignment. Write your life pitch in 60 words. We're going to give you 10 minutes to write your life pitch in 60 words and apply the SMART strategy. Be specific, make it measurable, make it attainable, realistic and relevant, and timely. Like I said, this is going to be a pitch for this moment in your life. And the pitch, the life pitch, which you are going to write for yourself, is going to be adaptable throughout the rest of your life. So at this moment, write down what you think is relevant, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, relevant, and timely. SMART. Okay, you have 10 minutes to write up your assignment. You are, if you want, of course, welcome to share your pitch with us, but it's not required. It would be nice, maybe we can review some of the pitches that you wrote and inspire others throughout the region to see what your life pitch is like. So write it down. We're going to give you a 10-minute time break for this, and then come back. Maybe if it's possible, you can review some slides if that would help you to get some more information, or just scroll back to see if you can if you need some of the things that I've talked about, just a refresher for the points. But I'm looking at Rolenzo. Are we timing the 10 minutes for everybody to write up their 60-word life pitch? Okay, there's a question that came in just now with somebody asking, is there an example for a life pitch? Yeah, I guess there are. My life pitch, I wrote it down for myself. I started a couple of years ago, and what it does, it narrowed down to the life quotes that I shared with you earlier. So as I said, throughout the years, when it grows into a process, it changes. So I don't have a set example now. I don't have a set example now. I can help you along if you like, but my life pitch changed into quotes. And the quotes is, trust where you are in life and trust the process, because where you are is right where you need to be. I believe in a higher power, and that's God, and He's guiding me. I have to admit, I don't go to church, but I do pray, and I do trust Him to guide me through my life. So that's a very strong statement, but that's for me. It doesn't have to be a guiding tool for you. But if you're talking about your pitch, you can say, I am trustworthy person who likes to go out there. I want to contribute to my community. Within 5 years, I would like to do this, or be there, or help out there. I would establish this. But even you don't have to write all of your goals. You can just write about yourself, on how you want to develop you. So if you look at the questions, what is the life pitch for? This were the 4 W questions. Where are you heading in life? Maybe we can pull up the slide. I think, answers to those questions, start writing the answers to those questions. And when you have the answers, you can combine the answers into the 60-word phrase. Okay, so let's see how we're coming up with the 4 W's in which to help you write your assignment with. Yes, who are you? That was the first. Okay, so what is a life pitch? We're going to pull up the slides just to keep it top of mind. But the questions are: who are you? Write it down. Take 2 minutes. Who are you at this moment in time? Write it down. Where are you going in life? Why are you heading there? And what do you want to contribute in life? Write down those 4 answers. Give yourself maybe a minute to write down the answers of these 4 questions. When you read the answers back, try to take all of those answers and put it into one phrase of 60 words. And I mean, it's not a law. You can do 55 words, you can do 65 words, you can do 70 words, but try to capture it as least the words you need to write it down, because if it's going to take too long, or if it's going to be a story, you won't be able to, or you won't feel comfortable to read it every day because it's too long. So it's just supposed to be a short phrase in which your life pitch, you can tell somebody in 1.5 minutes who you are, where you're heading in life, why are you heading there, and what you want to contribute, because that's what it's supposed to be. Just a couple of sentences that describe you.
So welcome to the Q&A, and here we have Rotarian Odette Miranda. So can you please tell us what your role is in the Rotary?
Yeah, good morning, Talita. Thank you for the opportunity, because I just totally forgot I had to self myself as a Rotarian as well. It's probably because I'm not the pitch perfect example of a Rotarian as the book would describe it. I think I am one in heart, for sure. But I'm now 8 years a member of the Rotary Club of Paramaribo
Wow.
Central. And in the beginning, this is a short story. In the beginning, I was very proud because I already looked up at the Rotary people. I'm like, oh, okay, maybe why did nobody ask me to be a Rotarian? How come maybe a Rotarian? Wasn't a big deal, but just as sometimes you're like, oh, okay, that would be nice. That would be nice. But I never got asked. I always thought, okay, I wonder what they're doing. But then I got asked, and I was very proud. And in the beginning, I was very I wanted to, be involved in everything and do everything. But my mom got sick in that year. And actually, that brought me back to reality. I couldn't attend a lot of meetings because I had to take care of her and be there for her. And actually, since that moment, my Rotary philosophy has changed. And I hope that my president isn't watching right now, but I am one Rotarian. I have to honestly admit, because it has to be the truth. I don't attend a lot of meetings, but I'm always there when somebody calls. And even anytime, it doesn't matter if it's any Rotary, any activity, it doesn't matter. I try to give my time in a different way. I give my time through my own time if anybody needs anything to be volunteered at, but I also give a lot of time and attention and products through my company. And there's numerous ways that I've tried to make up for the fact that I'm not actually in the meeting, but I do believe that I really have the Rotary spirit. And sometimes they, oh, are you a member? I'm like, yeah, fine. It doesn't matter. I don't have to flaunt the fact that I'm a Rotary member. I have to carry the values in my heart and in the everyday decisions that I make. And I think that's the most important part of being a Rotarian.
Wow, that's
Mm.
amazing. So
Thank
I'll
you.
have to say, I
Mhm.
am from the Rotaract Club of Fresh.
Mhm.
It's my first conference, also
Okay.
my first year, and it's really amazing. You guys are doing a great job. I actually look up to you guys.
Okay, but I just told you I'm not the typical Rotarian, so just don't take me as an example. Huh?
But the
Look at the other ones.
The point where you said you're always available when they
Mhm.
call for you,
Yeah. Mhm.
that means a lot. It means friendship.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
I want that too.
Okay. Well.
So we'll be going to the questions.
Okay.
And the first question is, if you said in your presentation that you would revise your life pitch,
Mhm.
and someone asks, do you ever change it?
Mhm.
How often do you change it? How often do you revise it?
Okay. So as I said in the presentation, I didn't have a life pitch when I was 25. Actually, the question of what is my purpose in life started with me when I was around between the age of 40 and 45. That's when I started to ask that question to myself. Yeah, really, I'm not kidding. As I said before, it was just work and I was a mother and I enjoyed it. I mean, it was fine. But between the age of 40 and 45, that's when I started, okay, so what's my purpose in life? I just had this one company and then, then I started formulating it in my head. I didn't write it down, but I started formulating it in my head. And through the years, it changed. My life purpose is the fact that through my work, I can help people because we do awareness campaigns, we do promotions and help people in such a way that through awareness campaigns, you want to change their minds or you want to give them the information that they need to better their life. So that would be the first life purpose. And I thought, okay, making good quality TV productions, that was also a very valued aspect that I wanted to contribute to. And that's why I think that those two parts in trying to contribute to the community through Bromchi Futamara, the corporation that works with children, young children between 6 and 12, I effectuated that. So the things that I thought of my life purpose between the age of 40 and 45, actually executed out in the activities that I did in my life from 45 till now, because the television station started 2.5 years ago. I was then 47. The Bromchi Futamara started the year before. I was then 46. So actually, in between 40 and 45, I started thinking of, okay, what's the purpose in my life? And I said, okay, the purpose in my life is that through my job, and that is doing television or doing radio or mass media, I can contribute to building my community, being better in my community. And that regards to Bromchi Futamara directly into the youth, because the statement of Bromchi Futamara is raising the next generation. I believe that if we can touch just one generation in a positive way, we have a better country within 15 years. So that's raising the next generation. That's a tagline of Bromchi Futamara. And with Supreme, it's a platform for local content. I want everybody out there to feel stimulated to do productions and to tell the Suriname story in a good way. So we don't focus on politics. Of course, it's going to be on the television. It isn't now, but it's going to be on the television station. It isn't now, but we're focusing on the stories. Fun, young people, nice things, good things that we do, beautiful things that are happening, fun, entertainment. So that's what we're focusing on. And actually, I feel that with the contribution that we do through Bromchi Futamara for the young people and Supreme as a platform in getting a positive message throughout Suriname, that I am fulfilling my life purpose to the max. I have to use my job to get the better news and stimulating news to help everybody out there, even if it's just in one session where you can reach out to them and they feel something that triggers something in their life. That would be enough.
See, this is why I said you're very inspiring. You're a boss lady.
Thank you.
And the next question is, someone said they don't have a life pitch.
Mhm.
What advice do you have for this person?
No problem if you don't have a life pitch. I just want you to think about it. Because as I said, I didn't have a life pitch when I was 25. Mine started growing on me when I was 40. So if you don't have a life pitch, it's not a problem. That's what I said. My life quotes are trust the process and trust the place you are at that time in life. I have a guide, and that's the mighty power up there, and he guides us all. That's what I believe. You don't have to believe it if you don't want to, but I do. And he has a path set out for all of us. So even if you're not ready, or if you don't believe it, it'll probably come, but it'll come when it's your time. So trust the process, take the time where you are supposed to be in life right now. And even if it's going to be in 10 years, or even if it's going to be tomorrow, or even if it's going to be in 20 years, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because it's going to get there, but you have to trust the process.
Okay, but what if your life pitch is to just be happy? What next?
Listen, if your life pitch is just to be happy, you're the happiest person alive. Right? if you want to focus on being happy, and if that is it, I mean, you are going to be the happiest person alive, because life is tough, and it's going to throw challenges at you. It doesn't matter what you do or where you're at, and even if you are having that as your life pitch, I want to be happy, you have to look at the happiness of everything that is going on in your life. So let's say, for instance, I don't hope this, of course, for you, but let's say you have a car accident. Then your life pitch is, I am happy. Even in the car accident, you're gonna be happy. That's what it is. So in the car accident, you're, okay, man, that's tough, but it's not going to get me down, because I want to be happy. You fail a course. You say, okay, well, that's fine. At least I learned something. But even in the failure, I'm going to be happy, because that's your life pitch. So you use it as a lifeline, because that's what you want to be. You keep it up there, top of mind every day. And it becomes a mantra, and in everything that you do, even if you fail, you tell yourself, my life pitch is, I want to be happy. So I'm not going to let myself be down, because even in that, I'm going to be happy. Let's take it a little step further and look at a more serious event in life. Let's say a good friend, or a parent, or somebody dies. You're going to be sad, you're going to cry. But if your life pitch is, I'm going to be happy, then you're going to look at the situation and you're going to say, you know what? I choose the happiness in that situation. And the happiness will be all of the moments that you had with that person, or the good things that you've been taught by that person, or even the fact that you are allowed to have been a part of the life of that person. That is what's going to make you happy. So it doesn't matter if your life pitch is, I want to be happy, but you got to own it. So that means you got to live it. You have to be happy in every situation, because that is who you are. That's what you're striving for. That's what your aim is, and what your goal is, to be happy. Let me tell you, you're going to be the happiest person. Let me tell you, nothing's going to get you down, because you're going to find the upside in everything that's going to happen.
I agree. And I read your quote, and it says, trust the process. But what happens when everything just goes wrong? How do you stay motivated to just keep trusting the process when it seems like nothing is going to work? You're trying this, you're trying that, but everything is just failing. How do you still keep trusting the process?
Listen, as long as you're alive, you get the chance to wake up every morning. And that's why God made day and night, because you have every day a new chance to try again. Every sadness that you have today will be over tomorrow, because tomorrow you have a chance to start again. One day passed, you have a different view in life. A day passed, sadness, time heals all wounds, is what they say.
Yes.
The day is passing, time is passing, and you will have healing. Maybe not everything, just small steps every day, but you have a new chance every day to change it. So it's up to you. So look at it that way, because even if your life pitches me, I'm going to be happy. That allow yourself to be sad that day, but allow yourself to be happy because the sun is rising and you are alive, you're healthy, and that means you can work on doing better the next day. You get a new chance every time a day starts to make it better.
Thank you. That's very inspiring, especially for me, because I used to think the same way. I used to think, how can I still trust the process? It seems like nothing is working, nothing is going right, but I'm so happy for your advice. I'll really apply this to my life and just keep trusting the process.
I'm glad you will. Good thing is also maybe just a last point of advice is sometimes to step away from yourself, to look at the situation and try to, I don't know, so it's in English, but relativeren, try to look at it objectively. So what's happening? Okay, I'm this young lady, something is happening, I'm feeling down. This is the person who who treated me bad, or something happened, the course failed, or my mom and I got into a fight. And they say, okay, so I'm going to step back and say, okay, so what do I do to change this? Because you want to change it. So you either say sorry to your mom, you either get up and say, okay, don't worry, I didn't make this course, I'm going to try something else because maybe this wasn't for me.
Yeah.
You go up and you look at the situation and you say, okay, what is my part in making this better? And that's the way you do it. You let just the day pass, you drink a Coke, you eat a cake, do everything that makes you feel better, eat a bar of chocolate, doesn't matter. Tomorrow is another day and another chance to make it right.
Thank you, Rotarian. So as you heard, she said, tomorrow is another day, a new day. So everyone, get your journal, write down your life pitch, and now we're back to the studio.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
The Suriname experience.